to another episode of
Nanny
and Levy. Today we're cooking a low-carb almond flour coffee cake. It's gonna be really good.
and we love blueberries. It's got blueberries in it, and one of our traditions every year was to pick blueberries every year. So we're ready to get started. We're going to start on the swirl part first. So we're going to move to the stove.
Welcome everyone. Now we're doing we're starting with the blueberry swirl is what they call it. I guess we're gonna put over the cake or whatever. Or in. Oh.
Anyway, so we're starting with 2 tablespoons of water.
Shoot. I need to turn that.
Okay, and then we need, here you do the lemon.
Okay. So.
And then we're gonna add lemon juice. We wanna put a little zest in there first?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna. I'm gonna zest this lemon just straight into the water. You don't have to.
Gives it that extra little lemony taste. Gives it a little zing.
Zingy.
I think it's good. So, all right. So then we're gonna put approximately 1 tablespoon of lemon juice.
So I'm just.
Add it up. Squeeze it this way. Squeeze it this way. Squeeze it this way. Squeeze it this way. This way. Seeds in. Or put your hand over the front so the seeds go in your hand and not in the mixture. Alrighty. And then we're going to add 3 tablespoons. We're using monk fruit today. You can use stevia blend or
what other no calorie sugar they.
but we've started using some monk fruit, and so far we like it pretty good. And we're putting 3 tablespoons in, and Levy's gonna swirl it around. And then we're gonna use 1/4 of a teaspoon. I have a half here. It's called Xanthan gum. I'm not sure I pronounced that right. Xanthan. Okay. Maybe you could just spell it.
Well, yeah. Go.
Yeah. And so we're going to put approximately 1/4 teaspoon. And what this is it helps it thicken up. If you don't have this and you want to use something else, you can use
Not cornmeal, corn flour.
or what is it? You can use a little
Flour.
Yeah.
But since we're trying to make this diabetic friendly, we don't really want to use flour, so it's a good alternative. You could use cornstarch.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Cornstarch.
Yeah. And what that does is it helps to thicken things. And to that, she wanted to be on TV? Okay. All right.
Sure.
Anyway, Evie's going to wash his hands after petting the little puppy there.
A few moments later.
She just wanted to see what was going on. And so we're going to go ahead and add, he's whisked that around. Is it melted yet? Pretty much? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add 1 cup of blueberries. And then we're going to bring the mixture, we're going to simmer it. I'm going to, you want a regular spoon now?
Yeah.
Mike? Ooh, that's fine. And we're going to stir that until it gets a little bit thick, and then we're going to let that cool while we do the rest of the cake. And that's going to take probably 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to set it aside. It's going to thicken up. It's going to make kind of a syrup kind of thing. And also, this is good like waffles or pancakes or any of that kind of stuff too. And I use it to top cheesecakes.
Yep.
Something kind of like this.
A little bit of like a blueberry sauce.
Yeah, like a blueberry sauce. And some people call it blueberry syrup. Anyway, we're going to stir that just a little bit. It's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. And I see the stove got really hot all of a sudden. And then after that, we're going to put the cake together. Yeah, I think it's starting to thicken a little bit more. So we'll stir that just a little bit more because it's good stirring. And you need to stir this pretty constantly. Like that, it'll stick. Everything's stuffed in there though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Smells good. Smells good.
Here's one of our favorite foods, okay? used to go pick blueberries every Father's Day, right? We'd go over to see my dad and take him to pick blueberries, and the boys would pick blueberries with us. And we usually get like 24 gallons a year. Yeah.
Eat about a gallon.
Yeah. The place we go, you can eat all you want while you pick. And so last few years haven't been kind of worked out for us to go, but we're hoping that we'll maybe be able to go next year when this virus stuff is going. Did you pick? Not really? Hard to?
Liquidy sound.
Well, it's also going to thicken up a little bit after it cools down too. Whoa! If it's not getting quite thick enough, I might just add just a tad more. You know, sometimes this is our first time to make this recipe, right? And we're going to make a few little changes to the one that was printed. And sometimes, you know, a recipe, Levy and I think it's just a guideline, right? You start with the recipe and then you add your own little touch. And that's what we usually do because certain things we like in a recipe and certain things we don't. So we just make a change. Now it's getting thick.
Yeah.
Now, add more. And after that, I think it'll be just about ready. Sometimes what I do, instead of doing it like this, I'll take the water and the, yeah, there you go. And then I'll mix it together to make what's called a slurry. You can do it that way too. Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's good now. Is it thicker now?
Yeah.
Definitely get thicker.
And then
And sometimes, depending on how juicy your blueberries are too, you might have to add a little bit more than what the recipe calls for. And these were blueberries that were handpicked by us, and we got them in my home state of Louisiana. Can you print down?
Yeah.
And so these are very, very, they were very fresh when we picked them, and so they had no time to dry out. So they didn't sit on the store shelf. Straight from the farm to our freezer. And so just a little tip for you, if you're picking blueberries and you want to pick a lot, then if you come home with them and don't wash them, so you're ready to use them. If you'll just lay them out like on a towel or a newspaper or something, you get all the dew off of them, and then put them in Ziploc bags and put them in your freezer, you can keep them for a whole year at least. And then when you take them out, you can wash them. I think that's good, baby. I think we're good. So let's just let that sit, and it will thicken up some more while we make the cake. All right, now we're ready for the cake part.
Cake, actual cake and flour and stuff.
Okay, what do you have here?
This is almond flour. How much would you have?
We have 1.5 cup of almond flour.
1.5 cups. Just put it in your big bowl. You're gonna use for mixing. You want a medium-sized bowl.
Okay. And then we have 1/3 cup.
Of monk fruit. And just pour that over just like you do with pouring.
And then we're gonna have 1/4 teaspoon of soda to help it rise. Yeah. And we're mixing all of our dry ingredients first. You wanna do the salt?
A little bit of salt.
All right, got it? All right, so you're just gonna mix all those dry ingredients together, and then we're going to do our wet ingredients next. All right, let's do the butter first. Ready?
Okay. Yep.
All right, we have 2 tablespoons of butter.
We melted it.
You could use coconut oil if you want, but we like butter. But if you prefer coconut oil, you could do that too. It's still really good. All right, and he's going to get that all mixed up where it's all crumbly and everything. And then we're going to start with the
Milk.
next. And it's just 1/4 cup, and we're using, again,
Almond milk.
and you can use whatever
Milk.
you prefer. But we have people who are lactose intolerant. And so we try to use almond milk as much as we can. And we like the taste.
Tastes
And
good.
almonds and blueberries, there's nothing better than those two combinations. And then we have 3 eggs. And if you'll set them out a little bit early, then they'll mix in better. So we break them separately, and then I'm gonna mix them up. It's looking good, Levy. And here goes number 1. Okay. All right.
That so you guys can see.
And here comes number 2. Oh, nice eggs. Here's number 2.
Number 2, egg number 2.
Alrighty. And the batter's going to be a little thick, but remember we're going to put the blueberry sauce in there, and it's going to thin it up a little bit. And some people put whiskey in this, but we're not going to do that. We're going to use some good old vanilla flavoring, and I think I'm going to put the vanilla flavoring inside that last egg. What do you think?
Sure.
I think it'll mix better, more evenly. So use about a tablespoon, not a tablespoon, a teaspoon, or a little more if you like. And one other thing that we love with blueberries is almonds. Almond flavoring is so good. If you don't like it, that's okay. You don't have to have it, but just put a little dab
Do you?
in there. And it just gives it a fresh taste, and there's nothing like almond and blueberries together. You can really smell it now, can't you?
Whoa. Beautiful smell.
There you go. All right. How's that?
Looking good.
And I think those are all our ingredients. And while Levy's finishing that, we've got a pan here that is, what size is it? Do you remember?
8 by 8.
8 by 8. And we use, you know what, you could line this with parchment paper if you wanted to.
You sure could.
And then you could just dip out the whole thing. If you were like having a party or something and you want to just take it out and put it on a pretty plate. We're just going to cook it this way today, but that's just an idea. You can line it, overlap it with parchment paper, and that way you can just take it out for serving for your party or whatever. It just gives it a different look. So anyway, it's looking good. So I'm just going to rub this around. Levy's going to get ready to pour that in. This looks good, Levy.
Just gonna plop in this batter here. Straight onto the pan.
It's going to get it all out of there.
Every single
Drop.
Alrighty.
Very good. All right. Then he's going to smooth it out. And to that we're going to, I'm going to reach back here and grab the blueberries.
Okay.
And as you can see how they thickened up. And you see that is a really, really nice sauce. And so what we're going to do is put these on top and make a swirl, like an S all the way through or something, just to have them go through. I can hold if you want to dip it out. Just dip it all and then do it, babe. See how thick it is now? And just think if you had pancakes or waffles or something to put that on. That would be so good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be very good.
And you see, we did have to add an extra amount of thickening to this because our blueberries were just so juicy. If yours are not that juicy, you may not have to add that much. You can start with a little and do like we did and always add. And that's looking good, huh? I think we're good. We'll swirl around a little on the side. Man, I think it's going to be really good. This is our first time to make this recipe, and we did make some adjustments to what we found online because we have personal preferences on certain things like almond flavoring and that sort of thing. Yeah, we just make a substitution, and there's a lot of different ways that you can make substitutions, and so that's what we do. Recipes are guidelines, not formulas, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna
pop it in the
this
oven.
in the
How hot? We got the oven 350?
Yep, we have the oven set to 350 degrees.
Okay, it's all preheated. And we are going to cook it 23 to 28 minutes. We'll set our timer. And then we'll see you in a while.